What is going on, guys? Quality XA here today, bringing you guys a brand new video on Destiny 2. Now today we're going to be rounding up mainly the blog post and just a couple of little bits and pieces that we can round up from last week. So jumping into this, so we did actually get this from DMG. Expect to see these in the game more frequently. He was actually talking about the messages, the in-game message that we actually got, telling us about the Lord Saladin is returning for the Iron Banner and the curse in the Dreaming City is at its peak. Now personally I think this is a really good notification, especially when new quests and new updates do come into the game. So yeah, really cannot wait to see more of that, and it's just a really good update instead of having to go on the Bungie blog post. Moving on, we did actually get this as well. So they did get a Reddit user saying, "We are collecting your feedback. May very well be true, but listening is only one side of the conversation. We need regular two-way discussions with devs and designers. We need to know how our feedback is being put to use." And DMG replied, "Thanks for the feedback and keep it coming." Over the last year, we've been adding more developer commentary to our communications, whether it be in TWABs, patch notes, vidocs, or dev insights. We've also been hosting community summits where we invite various members from the community who represent larger groups of players. On top of that, we do host playtests at Bungie with various players invited to lend their feedback. I don't know if there could ever be a two-way conversation with the community, as it would be a single person speaking to a sea of community members from various backgrounds. In any case, we're always looking to improve. So this is really good. I think that the reply that DMG did actually give is actually brilliant. It does obviously give us some more insight on all of the stuff, what they do talk about, whether it be in TWABs, patch notes, vidocs, dev insights, but they do actually invite a load of streamers, YouTubers and public figures to these community summits to actually test the game and get feedback from it. So it is really awesome. Moving on though to the blog post now, we are going to be talking about that. So they did actually say that they're doing a Scourge of the Past raid along. So on Tuesday, February the 26th at 10 AM to 12 PM PST, it will be on the Bungie Twitch TV and they will be streaming this, so really cool indeed. Again, we are going to get some insight where they do talk about the Scourge of the Past, including some of the design for it, some of the weapons and some of the secrets, so really cool indeed. Moving on now though, we're actually going to be talking about changes to Gambit. So, change the third round of Gambit to a Primeval Rush sudden death. This will speed up Gambit matches overall and add a change of pace to the final round. They've also overhauled how we choose the invader spawn location and increased the number of invader spawn points for each map. They've implemented idle protection, which means that players that remain dormant for too long will not receive end of match rewards or infamy points. The Triumph Light vs Light can now be progressed by killing any Guardian using a super, not just invaders. This makes attaining the Dredgen title a less daunting task. Adjustments to blocker types by deposit tier. So, small blocker will give you a Taken Goblin with less health than the previous Phalanx. Medium blocker will give you a Taken Captain with more health than the previous Knight, and a large blocker will give you a Taken Knight with more health than the previous Ogre. These changes arrive with Season of the Drifter. To get you ready for that change in seasons, we are enabling triple infamy for the final week of Season of the Forge. So that's going to start the 26th of Feb at 9 AM PST, and it's going to be ending the 5th of March, which is going to be the start of the Season of the Drifter. So very awesome indeed. Some really good changes here, and I'd really like your thoughts in that comment section below. Personally, when Gambit first came out, I was a big fan, but the more I do play it, the more I sort of don't enjoy playing it too much, but it's still really fun. I just hope that these changes do make it that little bit more fun. Moving on though, we're actually going to be talking to some adjustments to some of the weapons. So for linear fusion rifles, the aim assist values will receive an adjustment to reduce effectiveness at long ranges. While Queenbreaker has the high aim assist values by default, we discovered an issue where it was not honouring aim assist values that applied to other linear fusion rifles of the same archetype. This resulted in Queenbreaker having over double the intended aim assist. So pretty mad on that one. They do also say linear fusion rifles will receive a 10% damage increase in PvE to compensate for the above changes. So very good, will make them more useful. Shotguns will receive a damage multiplier in PvE activities, effectively doubling their damage, so really awesome, make that more useful as well. The Legend of Acreus is an exception to this. Full auto rate of fire bonus for shotguns is now plus 10%, down from plus 100%. In addition, it is no longer increases the shotgun's pellet spread. Default rate of fire values have also been shifted, so aggressives are 55 RPM up from 45 RPM, precisions are 70 RPM up from 55 RPM, and lightweights are 80 RPM, stated to be 90 RPM previously. We've also got rapid fire was 140 RPM down from 200 RPM, and also reduce the base damage for shotguns across the board to align with their new rate of fire on a per sub archetype basis. Ammo reserves for shotguns were reevaluated due to the increased efficiency of having more damage per shot. They did also say, we have taken an opportunity to slightly adjust shotguns for the Crucible. While shotguns will retain effective in Crucible, we have toned down the range at which shotguns could secure a one-shot kill. Now this is very good. I really hope that it does actually work out in Crucible when these changes do actually apply. I do believe the shotguns are really overused at this point in time. You don't see enough snipers, you don't see enough secondaries, to be honest with you. But yeah, the shotguns are really overused, so cannot wait to see how that actually works in Crucible now. And then moving on, we've got the big change, the one-eyed mask for the Titan. So they do say the duration of Mark of the Vengeance has been reduced from 15 seconds to 8 seconds. The way players refill health after a successful kill has been changed. Before, it restored all of your health and the overshield refilled over time. Now the health refills over time alongside the overshield. This should give a leg up when encountering situations where multiple people are fighting one person with the one-eyed mask equipped. Vengeance will also no longer trigger for players in Super. This was making Supers far too potent. So again, really good changes here. I was a little bit upset about this because this is one of the big exotics which works really well for Titans. It's obviously a big nerf, but at the same time it does actually work very well. Having it over time, they did also do a few nerfs before where they done this sort of change, and it didn't affect the exotics too much. So yeah, still very usable in my eyes. Next up, we do have the resolved issues, so if you wanted to pause on the screen now, you guys can, but you guys can see mainly triumphs and emblems, Black Armory Devotee, the Eternal Return emblem. They've got some stuff, what they do know about, and are hopefully going to be fixing that in the upcoming update. And then last but not least, they did say for the hunters, you will now actually be able to inspect the back of a cape when you do put it on. Again, a really good change that has been needed for absolutely ages upon ages. But yes guys, that's pretty much the end of the video. If you enjoyed, a like would be much appreciated, as well as subscribing if you guys are new around here. But as always, peace out, and I hope you enjoyed.